Hello and welcome to another episode of Speaking Mind with Young Mikolo. It's been a while since I've been on. I just been real busy, man, working and everything like that. So as you can see, I just got out of work. So if y'all want to sit there and clown, just keep your mouth shut, bro. Because I'm out here working, getting money, doing things. You feel me? I don't got time to get dressed for you people. Anyways, today on today's agenda and subject, I would like to talk about the video between Wack100 and the rapper known as Tres from LA. I believe he's from Compton, CV3. If I'm incorrect, y'all could leave a comment or whatever comments you want to leave, to correct me. I don't know too much. Anyways, I'm up here in Northern California and out here in the Bay Area, but I like to speak on the subject, just put my 2 cents into it. Anyways, him and old boy had a discussion. I believe it was a couple days ago on Clubhouse. They had a discussion about, I guess, old boy Tres. He's a Southsider from LA, from Compton, if I'm not incorrect. And he was asking Wack100 to if he would sign him. And Wack100 clearly told the man that he asked him what type of affiliation or who he was affiliated to, and he had told him that he was a Southsider. And he told him that he would not sign him on the strict basis that he runs with the Southerners, that he does not fuck with Southerners. He does not affiliate with them due to their politics and what they're on. So anyways, him and old boy went back and forth. They had a nice little argument, nice little discussion. Now, I would like to say I don't really agree on a lot of things that Wack100 is about. I especially don't agree on him supporting a snitch-ass motherfucker by the name of 6ix9ine. I don't support snitching. I don't support that stuff, Whatever my affiliations are, they're my affiliations and my thoughts, but I don't support snitching and I don't support child molesters or rapists. So anyways, the man made a good point is that I believe Wack100 is from Pacoma. Somewhere in the valley. I don't know if it's San Gabriel Valley or San Fernando. In one of those parts of the valley. He's from Pacoma. And he's from a blood set. And I believe the man's in his 40s. So he goes back. So you could kind of understand where he's coming from, that he's not going to associate with Southerners. He goes back in the beef when blacks and the Southerners on the prison yard were going at it left and right. The history of the Southerners being clicked up with the whites, and the Northerners have always been clicked up with the blacks. And he told the man specifically, like, I don't fuck with you on the basis that Southsiders have always been more on the racist tip. And I'm not making nothing up. They've always been more racist, more against blacks. That goes back to the whole situation back in the 90s in LA when the Mexicans and the blacks used to go at it. But what people get confused is the Mexicans weren't beefing. It wasn't just any regular Mexican like Paisa or just regular Mexican that wasn't affiliated beefing with blacks. It was the Southsiders, the Sureños, Sur 13, what they identify as, they were beefing with the blacks. So with Crips or blood sets, whatever. So the beef, started I believe it started in the penitentiary. And it was kind of on the streets already, but in the penitentiary with the Mexican mafia, they fueled the whole thing to make it a lot bigger than it was. But really, to go back and correct myself, I believe it started in prison. And then once the orders were passed down, it went to the streets, because there were certain Mexican sets that did affiliate that were cool with black people. Because, as you grow up as a kid and you can claim this and they can claim that, but you grow up amongst certain people. If there's blacks in your neighborhoods, Asians, whites, whatever, you grow up with them. So you develop a certain camaraderie, you become friends, you become homies, this and that. You look past all that nonsense. But I believe, they turned on them due to Mexican mafia orders. If I'm not mistaken, like I said, you could leave a comment. But anyways, I'm not going to get really into all those politics. Just what it is that Southsiders have typically always been more on the racist tip. Like, they've more associated with themselves. They haven't really ever associated with blacks. That's why I believe that there's always been so much racial tension in LA, you know. Now, of course, it's 2021 going on 22, and there has been more like intermingling, you know. There's always going to be those Southsiders and blacks that have always intermingled and fucked with each other. But the majority of Southsiders, and I'm just keeping it 100, are like racist and whatever, you know. Like the majority of them are really on some racist shit. So, you know, I'm up north. Up here, it's like he said, like Wack100 told the man, he's like, that's why I believe that's the reason that he's not getting signed, is because of the racial tension. He told the man, hey, my homies are in prison because they bodied people that don't look like us. So pretty much he was referring to his kind. You know, they bodied his kind. There's a reason that they're in jail. And like he said, a lot of the stuff started with the Southerners in other areas, with beef in other areas with other Southerners, because at one time they were, I guess, he said that they were backing up essays in his part of the Valley or LA, in his section. They were backing up Mexicans, and those Mexicans feuded with other Southsiders. So that's but hey, that's the reason he got into a lot of beef. And he was telling old boy, hey, I don't want to deal with your politics. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get me in trouble. I don't run like that, you know. So Wack's definitely more on the old school tip. And, you know, you got to understand, when you've lost homies to the other side, whether it's Crips or whatever, Asians, Mexicans, whites, whatever, you're always going to have that type of resentment, you know, against somebody, you know. That's like me. I've personally lost a boy that got shot in the head by a Southsider. So it's like, I'm always going to hold that type of quote unquote resentment. Like, I'm not, if I go to prison, because, you know, as you hear in certain prisons now, the Northerners and the Southerners program with each other. You know, I can go there and be like, okay, I don't agree with it, but I most likely would have to go along, because unfortunately there's been a lot of solid Northerners that have been, you know, that have decided to hang it up, decided to DO, because they're like, I'm not going to program with my enemy. I'm not going to program with somebody that you've installed in my mind for so long that this is the man that I funk with. This is the man that I go to war with. And now you want me to program with him. You want me to break bread with him. You want me to share canteen with him. That's not going to happen. You feel me? That's not going to happen. So, you know, Wack100, I could respect the man spoke his mind, and the other dude just kind of sounded like, to me, he sounded weak. That why would you keep begging a man that wants nothing to do with you, and specifically told you there's nothing personal. It's just he doesn't fuck with you, your kind, and doesn't fuck with your politics, you know? So it's like, and he told him straight up, hey, there was other black people on the channel. You know, there was other cats from, I believe it was a New York cat. There was a Midwest cat. You know, shout out to the New York, Midwest. You know, shout out to all the blacks that fuck with the Northerners, man. He told him, hey, we don't fuck with the 13s. We fuck with the 14s. We fuck with the Northerners, you know. So we've always, in the Bay Area and in the Valley, all over Northern California, Sacramento, everywhere, you know. Shouts out to all over Northern California. Everybody doing their thing. All over Northern Cali, that's just how it's always been, black and brown, you know. One of my best friends growing up was black, so we've never had those racial tensions. Of course, at times, you know, there's always going to be certain little pockets of people that don't get along. But for the majority, it's always been cool. And if it's been like a Northern gang, again, going at it with a black gang, it's not necessarily a racial thing. It's more of a, you know, that's just who we're beefing with. Like, we might be cool with these other blacks and yada, yada, yada. And at the same time, you do have your Southerners in LA that's the gang just has to do with being black. Because like I said, things are changing. They have changed more in LA. But you know, unfortunately, you could blame it on the older generations or whoever the fuck you want to blame it on. The OGs and the older generations kind of fucked it up, effed it up for the new generation. They kind of messed it up because they put out so much tension between black and browns in LA that now a lot of these new cats that want to be cool, sometimes with certain blacks, they're not fucking with you. It's got nothing to do with even claiming. It's just not fucking with you, because you got to understand all that history, all those people that been lost and this and that. Like, we're all human beings. We all got human feelings. We can't just let go of something like that, you know? It's not that easy, like, you know? So it's like, you know, it's like for me, I'm a lot older. So it's like I'm kind of like whatever with the fuckery. Like, I mean, it is what it is. If it comes my way, I'm with it. But I'm not out there like looking for it, you know? So, and I'm not going to say that there hasn't been, you know, worthy opponents on the other side of the fence. You know, there's definitely been worthy oppositions. But that's just a whole subject for a whole different video. But he told the man plain and simple, hey, I'm not fucking with you, this and that. I thought he looked pretty weak. You know, he did look like he was begging him. Like, I wouldn't understand why another man so badly wants to understand why somebody's not fucking with you. I mean, it's plain and simple. If they ain't fucking with you, they ain't fucking with you. Keep it pushing. Why would you want to affiliate with somebody that wants nothing to do with you? So I could understand where Wack100's coming from with that type of tension that, you know, that's just something that's been brewing throughout history, through generations with black and brown tensions in LA. And let's not act like they don't exist, you know? That's why now the dude is like probably like, fuck, like I didn't have nothing to do with those tensions. And I'm pretty sure there's some black gangs that do fuck with them, but the tension's always going to be there. And, you know, unfortunately, that's just the way certain people feel, and you can't change the way some people feel. Some people are just going to carry those feelings till the day they die. That's just the way the man feels, you know. He's just on his program. That's his program. You can't change his mindset. And you got to understand, with Southerners, it's like, you motherfuckers then burn so many bridges with so many, you know, with especially with blacks. You burn so many bridges, and then you've gone out of state and burned bridges. And then this one thing that old boy says is that, okay, well, we don't have nothing to do with that over there. Like, we're over here in this section. Yeah, you don't, but at the same time, they're representing everybody as a whole. You got to understand that that name, that brand, that organization that you claim, it's being represented as a whole. So when you got people out in a different state representing you in that way, the backlash is going to come back this way, you know? And plus all that history from LA. You guys have burned so many bridges with the black community that a lot of blacks are always going to carry that resentment, and I can't blame them, you know, that you guys, it's like with us, with Northerners. Now, I have never been to prison, so I'm not going to sit there and speak on, oh, okay, if I was cool with them, this and that. You know, you guys have always, and the funny thing about you guys is you guys are straight hella funny. You guys are straight hella funny for the simple fact that you guys have always said that Northerners talk black and we act like this and that. And now all of you are trying to act, you know, just like motherfuckers up in Northern Cali. Look at you fools, you little so-called fake-ass plasticos upstate. You fools stay trying to act like motherfucking Northerners and this and that. And y'all ain't even shit. Y'all confused as fuck, you know? So you guys are trying to act different now with different type of swag, but yeah, you were getting, see, you guys hella contradict yourselves. You guys want to be cool now. It don't work that way. It doesn't. You've laid the foundation for this is how you want to be. You've burned so many bridges with the black community that the people, a lot of blacks up north, they ain't fucking with Southerners. Plain and simple. They're not fucking with you, period. Wack100 just said his people ain't fucking with you. He ain't fucking with you. Maybe, you know, it's different with every set. Dude's talking about in the Midwest. I mean, you guys kind of got it, man. You got it bad everywhere. Now, you might say you're deep and yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, it's like when you carry those racist intentions, and then when you join an organization that has those type of racist intentions, a lot of people don't want to hear how you think and this and that. They're like, well, why would you associate with such a racist-ass organization? Why would you associate with an organization that has put out hits on certain races, not even blacks, Asians too? Asians have dealt, there's been a lot of racial tension with Asians in LA County and in LA with Southerners and Asians. You could go back and look at the history. You could see prison interviews. You could see all types of things. A lot of archives. Like, I'm not making nothing up. Like, you know, and it's about time people say what's on their mind. I'm saying what's on my mind. You know, whatever backlash comes from it, then so be it. I'll confront it back and forth. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents. And there's a couple of channels, you know, these dudes are talking about, I'm not even going to name no names. There's no reason for me. They could hit me up, whatever. They're talking about, oh, well, Wack100 says that he don't fuck with Mexicans. Like, no, you need to go back and understand what the man's saying. He don't fuck with Southerners. He don't fuck with Southsiders. Okay? That's your guys' group. He didn't say he doesn't fuck with Northerners. He didn't say he didn't mess with Paisas. You know, he didn't say he didn't mess with Land Kings or the other Mexican organizations that are gangs or whatever you want to call it. He said he didn't fuck with Southsiders, plain and simple. That's what the man said, that he does not affiliate with any type of Southsider. And he also stated that he does not have any issues with no Southerners. Just stay out of his way, and that's it. He don't want nothing to do with you, and that's it, plain and simple. So, you know, to all you other channels, really understand what you're listening, because don't try to make it a race thing either. It's not a race thing. It's a group of called the Southsiders that happen to be Mexicans. You know, that's it. That he's not fucking with you guys. It's Southern Cali. I'm not even going to say Southern California Mexicans, because not everybody in Southern California associates with Southerners. You got Paisas, regular Paisas. You know, he said he messes with regular Mexicans or the 14s or the Northerners, you know. So please stop pushing a whole racial agenda, because I see a lot of you fools over there trying to make it seem like you're trying to make us a part of your shit, and we got nothing to do with it, plain and simple. So on that note, I would like to say everybody have a Merry Christmas and have good holidays. Be safe out there. You know, protect yourself and stuff like that. And that's it. Until the next video. Peace.